All right, you're on.
My name is Becky Duncan, and I had surgery 17 months ago. It will be 17 months ago on the 8th. I weighed 234 the day of surgery. I weighed when we came in, just that urge just was there. Weighed 138. And I was the third person in our family to have surgery. Because my kids were under the age of 18, no one would touch them anywhere except here. We called Dr. Rutledge, and he said, of course. My son weighed 380 pounds. Try to remember to get back to the right spot. He weighed 380, and this is his before picture.
Okay, hold it there, and we'll zoom in. See if I can work the camera here. Okay, got it.
And he weighs 190 now. He's lost a whole person.
Wow.
Whoa, yeah.
Remember how
Beautiful.
like
Yeah, cool.
And this was his senior year. It's amazing the difference. This is my child who was very outgoing and seemed to be very well-rounded, but didn't participate in several things. He played baseball until he was in 7th or 8th grade, but he just quit in high school doing much of anything except doing school. His last 2 years in high school, he got more involved. This last year, he was in a small singing group that tours and all over the country, and is just has blossomed into a whole different kid. It was just wonderful. My daughter is in her. They had their surgery the same day. One was 16, the other was 17. My daughter weighed 340.
Okay, hold real still. Let's go in and take a look. Okay, let me get, I don't quite have it. Hang on, just poor camera work. I'll cut that part out. Okay, got that.
She weighed 340. She was going into her senior year of high school. And this was her senior picture. And she weighs,
Hold real still.
hang on just a second and I'll show you.
Okay, that is great.
And she's down to around 180. If y'all want to see these, you are more than welcome. Here, be glad to show you all of them. A friend of mine from church, I have my own before picture. It's gross, but I'll show you because it's not me anymore.
All right, wait a second.
No, it isn't.
I had my surgery
Becky,
on
you're
February.
not smiling in that picture.
No, I wasn't very happy to have on a swimsuit in front of the Christmas tree either. I have a swimsuit on at all. And we have a pool in our backyard, so it was not very much fun to be looking like this. I wore 24, and about a week ago I went to Dress Barn, and I wear 10 now. Which I never dreamed was possible. One of the girls from church found this picture, which was just before, this was the Halloween before surgery. And I carry it with me all the time just to remind me what I looked like, and I thought I looked good.
You do look good. That was good. That's a good picture.
That was quite an interesting time. But my husband, I talked to him again this morning, and he says, now you be sure and tell them the chocolate story. As you all know, especially women, we have a tendency to, when the heavier we get, the more we hide to eat. And even when I was on, Herbalife and all of these other things that I tried over the years, I still would hide to eat. And chocolate was a big thing. And I had gotten to the point where I didn't eat chocolate hardly at all. But if I did, I would sneak it and go someplace where nobody else was around and eat that chocolate. Well, as Linda knows, I had to go out and buy some chocolate because once we got here, because chocolate has become a staple part of my diet now, only little bits, but I eat chocolate all the time, and I eat it in front of my husband. And when he tells that story, he cries, because he knows. He knew all the time I was sneaking, but he let me sneak because he knew it'd keep me from eating so much. But it's just a really neat thing. I'm excited. My surgery was February the 8th, and I was having a few little pain problems, no big deal, but enough that Dr. R wanted to check it all out. So he went back in and checked and gave me a couple of drains. And the next day...
Now, she's being way too nice. She had a terrible time post-op. She had 6 days of really severe pain, and she was a real trooper about it. So she's a good example where some people have trouble. And
You got just a little to your left.
It's all right.
good morning.
Okay.
Not sure how good it is, but it's
Morning.
It's another day.
Is Jan here yet? Cutter?
Mm-mm.
I talked to her this morning. She's pretty sick and nauseous, so she
Oh,
said
okay.
she was going to be late for me.
Okay.
And of course I got sick too. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's all right. No problem. Anyway, a few complications. Ended up going home with 4 drains. That was an experience. I hid them. I was afraid they wouldn't let me on the plane. So I hid them under my clothes and in my underwear and every place I could. But I continued to get better every day. It took me a little longer. Now my kids, you have to understand, being 16 and 17, by the time we left here, they were, "Can I drive home, Mom?" Because we drove here the first trip from St. Louis. So they wanted to drive immediately, and I said, "No, you can't drive. You're not old enough anyway to drive." But they bounced back immediately. They were great. They followed what they needed to do, and they've had no problems since. Their biggest problem is Mom having to keep on them to take their vitamins, or Denny remembering her salt and her Gatorade on a regular basis because she gets a little lightheaded, and I just say, "Have you had any salt today?" But you will, the 6 meals a day, don't worry about it. That's the way you're going to live. I carry pretzels in my purse. I'm a teacher. My desk is always full. I have Cheez-Its and pretzels, anything salty, all the time. And I always have some Gatorade or some water or some green tea in my little refrigerator next to my desk because that's my life. And it's okay because that's what I want to do. So, just wanted to let you know.
Questions for Becky?